there! You might be thinking, the green lifestyle again? I've already heard about it. There have been many people talking about how to live the green lifestyle, but have you been living it? My team and I would like to share our thoughts on living the green lifestyle. Hello, I am Eunice, and my team consists of me, Esther, Christina, Kaishan, Aiman, and Asenov. Now, let me head on to the content of our video. This video will introduce you to our ideas and ideation process. Firstly, we sent out a survey to TP students and staff, diving into the important questions about thrifting. 16 respondents knew of thrifting as a way to save money. 16 respondents linked thrifting with sustainability. All 36 respondents found importance in sustainability. From the survey, we could understand what our target audience thought of thrifting and sustainability. The survey questions also allow us to pinpoint which digital media channels to use in our ideas. Our target audience use social media, search engines, and blogs to keep themselves updated with events and occasions. We included the top results as our digital media channels. Now, I'll be talking about the background of Refresh. Refresh was founded in 2015. It was founded with the intention to save clothes that still have value. Refresh has also helped to save a lot of clothes from being thrown away and also save wastage of resources. You might ask, what is so important about thrifting? Maybe you might also think that thrifting is only about saving money. That is not entirely wrong, but we want more people to view thrifting as shopping with the intention to stand for sustainability and protect the environment. Our goal is to utilize public relations strategies to raise awareness for sustainable living through thrifting with Refresh. And by the end of September 2023, we will accomplish this by creating a well-detailed and obtainable PR plan to promote sustainability through thrifting. Accomplishing this will create awareness and drive TP's commitment to sustainability. Further, through TP students and staff, we decided to use SMART goals to achieve our goals more effectively. Since SMART goals and objectives are linked, I will only explain slightly. For measurable, we want TP staff and students to shop at Refresh. For attainable, we found out that only half of the survey respondents knew of Refresh, the rest didn't. Hence, when there's more awareness of Refresh, more people will shop there, and hence promoting sustainable shopping. We want all this to be accomplished by 2023, September. You have heard me talk about the target audience for the longest time ever. So who exactly is our target audience? Our first target audience is TP Green Interest Group. We have named the persona Conscious Cynthia. We chose this persona as our event ideas will relate to them the most. Our persona is environmentally conscious and wants to live an eco-friendly, sustainable and green life. They dislike fast fashion and plastic waste. They enjoy gardening, thrifting and cycling. We also have our second target audience, which is TP Fashion Design students. Our persona is called Fashionable Wendy. Our persona is creative and bold, and has a lot of interest in expressing themselves through their fashion. Our persona dislikes to throw away clothes and also cloth, and also dislikes expensive costs of purchasing fabrics. As they are conscious about their fashion and also the environment, this target audience will enjoy shopping at Refresh. Thank you. Next, I'll be passing the time over to Esther.
So next, I'll be talking more about our two proposed event ideas. First up, we have event number 1, which is an in-person pop-up thrift shop that will be held at Temasek Poly called Refresh at TP. This pop-up, as seen in the visual, will be held at a common area just right beside the library where there is a high traffic of TP students and staff. Refresh at TP will be held and organized by TP Green Interest Group members, and there will be a sale of Refresh clothing pieces. Holding this event pop-up shop provides convenience for TP students and staff who enjoy thrifting and already do so, but they don't normally have the time to travel to further places as they are usually busy with school curriculum and activities. While bringing refresh at TP to students will have no excuse to not visit this pop-up and will most likely walk past it while being in the school compound anyway. I have created a few posters that could be put up at the pop-up, which includes details of the events such as the date, time, and venue of the pop-up, as well as the pricing for the clothes, as Refresh categorized their pieces with a regular and premium pricing. An AI tool that has helped me create content for my posters is this SEMrush keyword tool that is used to identify the keywords related to thrifting that are being searched in Singapore. This is to further be updated and in sync with the latest search trends on the internet. Moving on to event number 2, it is our Go Green Metaverse. What you see now is the visual that will be posted on the website itself, as well as the QR code that leads to the actual Metaverse site when launched to TB students and staff to access. The coolest part about this Metaverse is that it is accessible for 24/7 for 3 months starting from the launch date in April to June. What you see now is the floor plan and map of the Metaverse, where there are racks of clothes, shoes, and accessories, all fully owned by Refresh, and also the stage for educational talks held by TP Green Interest Group members that further educates our users about fashion sustainability and all about the benefits of why thrifting is good for the environment. Users have their own avatars and they can customize their entire look with clothes and accessories and have the freedom of designing their own characters. Users can also interact with other TP students and staff who are on the Metaverse, and there is a chat function for conversations and reactions such as the use of emoji and the keyboard. At the end of the 3 months, there will be a virtual fashion show where the characters are to be dressed in their virtually thrifted clothes. Students will be able to vote for the best dressed character. Along with the highest votes, that student will receive a $100 credit to shop at Refresh. Lastly, there will be Teco Coin involved in this Metaverse. It is our digital currency that will be used to thrift virtually for the characters. And in order to earn Teco Coin, participants must purchase from event number 1, Refresh at Pop-Up.
But with such great ideas, how can we make sure that word is getting out there to our target audience? That is where the 5 digital media channels come in. The first is TP Green Interest Group Instagram account. This account will be mainly used for specific campaign event promotions, such as the pop-up store and the Metaverse event. The sample post on the right promotes the pop-up store that will be first launching on 6th of April. This is done through a countdown to entice and keep viewers anticipating of what is to come. The main message of this post is to encourage users to come down to the event space and participate in it. The second digital media channel is TP Eco Campus Instagram account. Unlike the previous channel, the content that will be posted on here will be mainly on the topic focus in general, as well as the other areas for improvement. This way, there will be a wider range of target audience, as this account involves the staff of TP as well. The sample post that you see talks about the drop in the recycling rate for textile waste from 6% to 4%. The main message of this post is to encourage viewers to upcycle their clothing by presenting to them the decreasing statistics of textile waste. The third is TPGIG's website. This website has not been very active recently. However, we aim to leverage on it and maximize its capabilities. Through this website, we will be posting blog posts on the range of topics relating to thrifting. This information can be both internal and external of Temasek Polytechnic. The objective of this is to educate both students and staff of TP of the various ways that they can do their part to fashion sustainability, as well as keep them updated with the thrifting community to possibly give them inspiration to do the same. The fourth channel is TP's Outlook. Taking the form of email marketing, the information that will be spread across will be in the form of infographics. In a sense, graphics are an easier way to convey the intended message and are generally more relatable to our target audience, as it is not as content heavy. The sample content on the left basically gives you a guide on thrifting ethically. It is a common misconception amongst youth to think that thrifting is just a trend. To avoid that, we aim to educate them on how they are able to adopt the proper mindset, all while doing their part to help the environment. The last digital channel is Telegram. Telegram is a messaging channel that has multiple features such as Telegram bots, which is what we will be utilizing. Our bot, Thrift Please, is a cross-hybrid between a chatbot as well as an automated messaging service. Generally, users are able to receive notifications of the thrifting-related updates from both TP as well as external communities. Adding on to that, users are able to interact with the bot by selecting the available prompts or by even asking their own questions. The main objective of these bots is to educate users more on the topic focus, which is thrifting, to encourage them to be more willing to make a positive change. This Telegram bot also represents one of our 5 Ps, which is personalization, as custom commands can be created for different types of individuals. As this is a chatbot, every conversation between each individual would be different, as not everyone has the same concerns that they want to answer. All these channels involve the use of AI tools. For example, for Telegram, the Telegram bot feature, as well as microbot framework and Snatchbot were used in the creation and the maintenance of the bot. For blog posts, Sudowrite, HubSpot, and Pathmatics were used to create attractive headlines and search for relevant topics that our audience may be interested in. For Instagram posts, Google Keyword Analyzer, Buffer, and Mentionlytics can be used when not only coming up with a relevant caption, but also when it comes to tracking the rates of each post. Lastly, for the Metaverse event, Sandbox, Roblox, and Icogram are used for mainly inspirations and coming up with the basics of the virtual world itself.
And now I'll be presenting on the KOL section of the presentation. So the first KOL that we're planning to introduce to you guys is Nicole Chin. So Nicole Chin, also known as Chinchilla Vintage, has 57.1 thousand followers on TikTok and 6.8 thousand followers on Instagram. As you can see on this part of the screen, right, she mainly posts contents on clothes that are thrifted, and then she mainly posts outfit inspirations and how to style them. Yeah, so according to green.co, right, she has 2.62% of engagement rate, and she even claims that 90% of what she wears is secondhand. Yeah, so we felt that she would be very useful as one of our KOLs, as her target audience are people that like thrifting, and for a refresh, it's kind of a very similar target audience. So we felt that it would be suitable for her to be our KOL. And for our second KOL that we're planning to recommend is Shane Tan. So Shane is the owner of Solar's Rebirth and a model. And Solar's Rebirth is essentially a second-handed clothing store. Yeah. So he has 18,000 followers on Instagram, and his shop has 1.4 thousand followers. According to green.co, he has a 11% of engagement rate on his personal account. Yeah. So his content, as you can see over here, right, is mainly fashion-related posts with his second-handed clothes and also his modeling shoots. Yeah. We felt that he would be a useful KOL for us as due to his knowledge in the second-handed clothes industry, right, we feel like he can educate our consumers on what's good and what's not. Yeah. And as for our third influencer, we have Eileen Tan. Eileen Tan owns a shop called Vintage Weekend. And what Vintage Weekend mainly does is that they recreate and use waste cloth to upcycle and make sustainable clothing. Yeah. So her shop Vintage Weekend has 35.6 thousand followers with an engagement rate of 0.79%. As you can see on this side of the screen, right, her content is mainly how to style her clothing and how to just basically style her upcycled clothing. Yeah, we felt that her knowledge of upcycled clothing would be is a very sustainable initiative towards the environment, and we felt that she is a suitable KOL for us. Yeah. Our fourth influencer is Fuari. So Fuari has 12.4 thousand followers on TikTok, 3,000 followers on Instagram, and her TikTok has an engagement rate of 0.98%. So what Fuari mainly does is that she has a lot of creations on upcycling. Yeah. As you can see on this other screen, she mainly shows the thought process behind her upcycled works and the tutorials to them. And for Instagram, she mainly does outfit checks and pictures of her daily lifestyle. We felt that her knowledge on upcycling is very good for our consumers, and she's a good KOL for us. And lastly, we have Leah Shannon. So Leah Shannon has 22.2 thousand followers on Instagram, 15.8 thousand followers on TikTok, and her Instagram has an engagement rate of 11%. Yeah, so back when Leia was at Zula, she would make videos on thrifting and where to find the best thrift shops. So we felt that with her knowledge on the thrift industry in Singapore, she would be an ideal KOL for our target audience, since our target audience who are looking for thrift would go to her and which will eventually lead them to us. Yeah, as you can see on over this side of the screen, she mainly posts the pictures of the fits she wears with her thrifted clothing. For our first event, which is the Refresh at TP pop-up, we mainly have 3 influencers: Eileen, Shane, and Nicole. So what we're planning to do for these influencers is that these influencers can man the booth for us. And every month, there will be different influencers for it. It will be from 12 PM to 6 PM. And what our influencers can do is they help us with posting to keep our audiences at the edge of their seat and post, essentially to build suspense. We are planning for them to post 3 Instagram stories and 1 Instagram post each. This is a mock-up of what the post will look like, and this is a mock-up of the story. Yeah, we felt that these influencers, right, would be the ideal influencers for the pop-up, as these influencers all have experiences in manning their own shops. Therefore, they will be the perfect candidate. Alright, and as for our second event, we mainly have 2 influencers that will be helping us. So we have Leia and Fuwari. So since Leia and Fuwari are both experienced in doing social media posting, right, we are planning to have them help us host booths to get students to sign up. So what they are mainly doing, right, is that they will be noting down emails of students who are interested in the Go Green Metaverse event. And they also promise rewards for the participants of course. So this is to try and entice our consumers to participate in our metaverse. So this is a mock-up of the poster of the Go Green Metaverse booth, and it says here that it's hosted by Fuwari and Leia. Yeah, so mainly our consumers over here would help us by posting this post on their stories or having an Instagram post.
Other than promoting the act of thrifting, it is important that we look out for other ways that we can positively contribute to fashion sustainability in Singapore. The first would be upcycling clothing. Rather than just donating or selling your clothes to thrift stores, one is also able to turn their old clothing into something new. With minimal materials, one could, for example, easily turn an old pair of jeans into a tote bag. By upcycling, we are giving a second chance to unwanted clothes. At the same time, we are promoting the 3 R's, mainly the second R, reuse. By upcycling, we are also reducing the amount of textile waste produced in Singapore. As of 2020, approximately 189 tons of textile waste has been produced, whereby only 4% gets recycled. A single piece of clothing itself takes up a high amount of energy. By reducing the amount of textile waste, we are able to save energy by dropping the demand for clothes, which in turn lowers the need to create more supply. Both of these areas can be promoted as well throughout the duration of our campaign, such that we are maximizing the efforts that we are encouraging and making towards a more sustainable community.
Now, here's the breakdown of what will happen, when, and where. We have created a content calendar depicting when content and events will be held within this 3-month campaign running from April 2023 to July 2023. The color code is as follows. Blue is for influencer postings, purple is for promotional posts on the proposed channels, and red is for the pop-up store event. We will have the pop-up store event on the 6th of every month. And for the month of April, we will have 1 influencer posting about sustainability and thrifting. Mondays and Tuesdays will be used for blog postings. Wednesdays and Fridays will be for Instagram posts on the respected proposed channels. And Thursdays will be for emails. The Metaverse will be an ongoing event, so it will happen throughout the 3 months with no specific end or start date. For the month of May, the same days are used for promotional content. The only thing that changes is that we will not have 1, but 2 influencers posting about sustainability and thrifting. Lastly, for the month of June, we will revert back to having only 1 influencer posting whilst everything remains the same. Moving on, let's take a look at the budget. For the Instagram paid post, we will be spending $335, which is an average of $55 per paid post on the TP channels. For the influencers posting on Instagram, we will be spending around $1,200, which is around $300 per post. As 2 of our influencers have more than 10 100k followers, it will be a little more expensive to have them promote on Instagram. Hence, the total spending for each post will be around $100 to $300. Inviting influencers to the pop-up show will be around $625, whilst the Google ads for the blogs will cost around $100. The Telegram bot made for this event will round up to $90, and the pop-up shop for the 3 months will be $300. Finally, the Metaverse event will cost around $350. Now, this Metaverse event cost is focused around the promotional cost of it and also the maintenance and updating of the event for it for every 3 months. Next, let's look at the Gantt chart. In the early weeks of May, around the first 2 weeks, we conducted the survey and topic research on our target audience to gather insights. Followed by the 3rd and 4th week of May, we started forming the data analysis and discussed on the PR strategy. Following up in the month of June, the big idea was discussed and created. All the mockups were done throughout the month of July, whilst the AI tools to be used started in the beginning of July and ended around the middle. Finally, the evaluation was finalized in the 2nd week of July. Lastly, in this PR plan, we have the last P, which is performance. We will be using Google Analytics AI tool to aid us in tracking the performance of the campaign. We will be using it to track website data, app data, and more. Through seeing the statistics throughout the 3 months, we are able to consistently improve on the content we will be releasing each month to improve on the reach and the engagement we can get from the TP students and staff. So, if you remember what Eunice said earlier when she spoke about the objectives, it was to utilize PR strategies to raise awareness for sustainable living through thrifting with Refresh by the end of September. We will be attaining this through 2 events, the pop-up booth and the Go Green Metaverse. Both events ensure to promote sustainability and the importance of sustainability, as well as how thrifting accounts to being sustainable. This is where the planning stage will be implemented. The 5 channels we will be promoting this and engaging with our audiences is TP Green Interest Group Instagram, TP's Eco Campus Instagram, TP's Green Interest Group website, the Outlook email, and Telegram. Now in this phase, personalization and production will be used. Following that, we will engage with our 5 KOLs, namely Nicole Chin, Shane Tan, Eileen Tan, also known as Vintage Weekend, Fuari, and Leah Shannon. And this will be a part of the promotion stage. Finally, performance will be tracked as mentioned earlier when speaking about the content calendar, budget, and Gantt chart. And with this, I present to you the 360 PR plan, Green Lifestyle Plan in collaboration with Refresh, presented by Eunice, Esther, Christina, Kaishan, Aiman, and Asena. Thank you.